Yes, you heard that correctly. The kids are saying, in Chinese, I'm a black monster. My IQ is low. This video was released. The word they're using is Heigui, which could be translated as black monster or black devil. But really, using is Heigui, which could be translated as black monster or black devil. But really, it's the Chinese equivalent of the N-word. The controversy even got picked up by Western media and sparked a worldwide debate about
I don't know how many people will see this video, but this is something I wanted to share for some time. But yesterday and today it peaked. It peaked because it's been bringing a lot of pain to the local communities and local society. I'll talk about racism. I rarely talk about this subject because I know it exists and there is no reason to bring it up again. But I'm talking about the new wave that is happening right now. The new wave, and the only way you know it's the new wave, it's because how social media works. And I tell you, social media at its core is actually evil, because the information that people use, it's mostly abusive. Most of the stuff you see online is actually negative. Most of the things you see online are negative. We're living in a negative polarity. And there's only few people that actually do good every single day. There's very few people. If you look around you, if you look at people around your environment, there's very few people that do actually anything good for the humanity. So, I'll start with, I'll make it short, and it's not even easy to record these kind of things, but I have to do it because it has to go out. First of all, I ran a little poll about monkey. I was out there seeing a bunch of monkeys in the village not far, and the conversation came up about how Africans were called monkeys because of the Darwinism and things like that. And it actually came from the colonizers, because Africans, black people, let's say, or let's say Africans, they don't call each other that way. The term came from the West and was integrated in the West society. And that's actually how the Chinese people call Africans as well. And I'll get back to them in a moment. It had to do with underdevelopment because of, Western society is deemed to be very civilized, and let's say Chinese are deemed to be more civilized. So who is the most under-civilized? Of course, it's Africa. So therefore, according to the Darwin theory, and there are a few people that instilled it and started calling people that way. And when I ran a poll, I will insert the picture, I'll try to insert it. It actually came up 50-50, which is interesting. There's people who voted that it's not offensive to be called monkey. Actually, just people, Europeans or Americans, white people, let's put it this way. And people who saw it offensive, they're actually people of color, African people. So there's only a few European white people who know that this is offensive to blacks, but it's also, it has to do with exposure and travel and living in Africa and reading books, reading history books, knowing the theory, understanding the theory of evolution, which is a complete hoax, but that's just the reality. And I don't blame people that don't know. I was called that way growing up in Ukraine my whole childhood, that I'm underdeveloped monkey, and I was beaten up and called that way. I remember that very, very clearly. So that sits in my subconsciousness. And when somebody calls me that way, even lovingly, it triggers certain things. So now, what we have going on is we have here, not too far here in Malawi, Chinese doing, this is just atrocious, just having people record, having kids record their, I forgot that word in Chinese, I'm not even going to say, but it has to do with N-word, and it has to do that my IQ is low, and I am a black devil and stuff like that. And now it's spreading on Chinese social media. It's been spreading actually since 2020. Only now people are catching up. Only now when it's so big in China. Only now. And the Chinese government, they are really powerful, you know, and who made them powerful is the West. Specifically the West that made them powerful and passed them the torch of neo-colonialism and thus racism. So racism does exist, it's out there, and how do we prevent it? Is to share the awareness, is to share what is going on, not to just neglect it. You know, a lot of people just put their heads down and don't behave like nothing around is happening. Well, if they're sharing things like that on social media and it gets thousands and millions of likes, why not share something that creates a counter? And when I saw it on BBC, it was aired on BBC here. You know, like you open BBC and you see it, you're like, wow, this is crazy. And this is not just here, it's across Africa. The show was aired, and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. So let's spread awareness about these things. And I know most of people that see it, they actually they are not people of color, that's the thing. So it's very hard for them to put themselves in my shoes or the shoes of the people who are screaming my IQ is low without awareness. You know, for the Chinese media. It's really hard because I understand. So let's develop compassion and awareness, you know, because with that's how we move forward, is with awakening and knowing what's going on. Lack of education does not free you of responsibility of being ignorant. You know, they say ignorance is a bliss, but not always. When you don't know something and you call someone something, even lovingly, you know, it can be offensive because of the past history. So let's learn about let's learn about wonderful things, and let's love kids. Really, they are gold, and let's spread the love. Let's just spread the love and awareness.